Hello and welcome back to my channel. We have a 3-card picker pile reading for you today, all about your career highlights and money in 2023. So we're using sticky tape. This is pile 1 with the green sticky tape, and I've pulled your main theme for money and career and the main month for money and career. So pile number 1, use your intuition to which one you are most drawn to. Pile number 2, you have the blue sticky tape, and pile number 3, you have the pink sticky tape. So only take what resonates as usual. Don't let anything take from you. And being a topic that has to do with money, I need to just remind you that I am not a financial advisor in any way, shape or form, and you have free will to change the course of destiny, your course of fate over this year. And we're going to look at this with the most prosperous mindset that we can, and kind of like a personal development heads up to see areas that we might need to work on as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. Timestamps are linked below. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading, all about your career in 2023 and money. And I have pre-shuffled, you chose the green sticky tape here, and I have pre-shuffled the main theme in career and money for the year, and then the main month. So let's see what card you got. You got the lemon, citrus/limon, cleansing, card 25. This feels very fresh. This feels like you might be having a restart, okay, there's 2 things here. I feel like you're having a restart. This also feels like you might be in partnership with someone else. When you break the 25 down to a 7, and you do have this Gemini energy on the card as well. So it does feel like something about partnerships is involved here. Business partners, a relationship that actually like invigorates your money and career in some way, your work in some way. But it also feels like you're doing some kind of ritual or your daily ritual. This also like hints, as soon as I saw it, I thought of lemon water. So you know how you can start your day with lemon water and it just sets your metabolism, or like brings to life your metabolism. It's like, good morning. And also it makes me feel like you're making lemonade out of lemons, but the lemons themselves you're appreciating. So I feel like perhaps you've learnt a couple of lessons last year and you're actually turning them into like this great big thriving bush, this great big thriving plant that you can readily pick lemons from whenever you need them. And they're actually like a vital ingredient, and they're a cleansing effect. They're having a really like juicy effect in your daily routines because of these ritual candles here. It just feels like your daily routines with a partner. And I'm also seeing like early morning routines. That is your main theme. So we'll get a bit more information on that. Wow. And the main month for you when it comes to, or the highlight month when it comes to money and career in 2023 is December. Interesting. So I feel like you've got a lot of time to work on this. But I also do feel like you've learnt those lessons in December. Like just recently, there's been a lot of lessons learned. Let's get some more information on this. Let's get some tarot on this. What is this main theme for pile 1 all about when it comes to money, work, career? What is happening? What is going on? Spirit, pile 1 is open to your, wow, best and highest messages for them. Yeah, collaboration for sure. We've got the Strength card, Leo energy, 3 of Pentacles, working on something possibly creative, Magician. Wow, you got the power. You got the power. Magician, number 1. I feel like something new is definitely starting in November. December. Wow, why did I say November? Maybe it's beginning in November. And I just got a knock at my door at the same time. Opportunity might be knocking. But I think you've created this. Like, you've created the opportunity for... You've created the scenario. You've created the platform platform. Interesting. Because when you, like the traditional depiction of the magician, and actually here, this rock face that she's like got all of her tools resting on, you've created this platform, you've created this altar. I feel like you've definitely been manifesting some things, and it's something that like is a slow burn if it's not happening. Like you've learnt these lessons in December just gone, but I do feel like it's starting to take shape in November. And then in December, it's like, here's all the knocks are going to start happening. You're building up strength over the course of the year, I feel. And there is something very creative about this project. And I do feel like you're perhaps over the course of the year drawing in a lot of resources, drawing in a lot of people, right? This literally, I'm going to cover this up. You're literally drawing on, I mean, this could be like one of those memo pads that they have in like conferences and stuff like that. It feels like you're definitely like making plans to collaborate in November, and then like you press the go button in December. You're collaborating with a bunch of people. It feels like something that's well thought out, and it feels like something that has developed as a result of things that you have been through in the past year. There's this infinity symbol appearing twice. Like these two are major arcana cards, so this is major cleansing. This might actually have to do with like a juice company, or I just heard skincare as well, something that is like a refresh for other people's health and wellness. This might have to do with this limitless potential here with the infinity sign above these two characters. It does feel like something that is a consumable, something that is renewable, something that is like bought and used and bought again. Like it's something that's never going to go out of fashion, and health is never going to go out of fashion. And if you think about it, like the health and wellness industry is $1 trillion industry, and it's not going anywhere. You know, it's actually getting more and more lucrative as time goes on. Who are you collaborating with here? I actually feel like it's one other person, but you're also using other people like models, potentially in your marketing. And this is why it has to be done well. This is why you have to balance your emotions, your logic, your passion, and your finances to make all of this happen. This is why you have to gain strength over the course of the year to make this happen, is because you need the right people and the right support team around you. Who's pile one collaborating? Three of Pentacles. Who is pile one collaborating with here? Nine of Cups. Maybe you've been super independent in the past, and maybe you've gotten to a point where you're emotionally fulfilled with the path that you're on, but you actually need to get out of your comfort zone a bit. Queen of Pentacles. And I feel like you're going to work with someone who is almost investing in you. Someone who understands your purpose. Six of Cups. Possibly someone that you've known for a long time. Possibly someone that you share a child with, I just heard. But also from childhood. Someone that you've known for a really long time. Or someone that has like looked at you like a protege. You know, perhaps they've done this before. This Queen of Pentacles is like a elevated queen. She's not just like a page, you know, she's really like established. But I feel like you're quite established as well. If you're coming up as the Nine of Cups, I feel like you're quite established. And you might be a bit closed off at first to this offer that this Queen of Pentacles is bringing you. But I do feel like you're sitting here going, well, I just need one more cup to make it a 10 of Cups, to make this something that is like my ultimate dream and ultimate happiness. So this person might have like a 10% share in whatever you're doing with their investment like structure. But I feel like this person really understands your purpose, like the reason for you doing this. They really understand your vision. And there's something like nostalgic about this person. And that's just with the rabbit. It just gives me nostalgia. Like you guys have followed each other or something like that. There's like leading each other down a path. Perhaps you've been fans of each other for a little while and fans of each other's work. There is something creative about this, whether it is these curtains are just really drawing my attention. And if you've got all these cups on the shelf, it's almost like you're at this point where I can do no more, and her arms and legs are crossed. It's like almost at a point where she can do no more on her own, and she realizes that she needs to invite people in, let people in to help. This person might be a Capricorn or Taurus or Virgo. The pentacles are really standing out to me, and there's a lot of yellow here, so I feel like this really is something invigorating for you, invigorating for them, but also it's something that invigorates other people. It's something that helps people with their health and wellness in some way, but there's a creative element to it, and that might feel like social media. It might feel like creating a lot of content. This is where this person might come in, but I feel like this person is more of a person that oversees things. I don't feel like she's getting her hands dirty as much. Just the way she's looking down at her pentacle there, it just feels like she's nurturing the coin in this situation, like a CFO kind of vibe. But there's going to be, your cup is going to runneth over. I feel like there's a lot of generosity between the two of you, and there's a lot of generosity that you want to give to other people. The yellow house in the background really stands out. There's so much yellow here. The yellow house is standing out as possibly like a building, or you're doing this from home. But it's a happy situation. It's a happy workplace. And that's why you might be trepidatious to bring someone in to your home, because it's like, this is my baby, right? This is my personal thing. You've definitely been manifesting this. There's a lot of success here though. There's a lot of success. But I do feel like it's because of the strength that you've built up through the things that have challenged you in the past, right? Through the things that have challenged you in the past. I feel like you may have been getting inspiration from around the world, and I just heard Amalfi, right, with the lemons here. Something that you experienced on travels, or something that you experienced through life experiences that were potentially particularly challenging as well. But you've seen this full circle. It might have been something that was a burden at first, like you may have been forced to change your health, and this is how you came across this. You might have gone on like an eat, pray, love kind of tour is what I'm also picking up. But through like step at a time. I just heard one bite at a time. You've actually learnt to use this product or this practice as something that fulfilled your life in such a way that you felt called to bring it to the world in a different way, or in your own way, and bring it. The Gemini energy is very intellectual, so I do feel like you've really thought about this. The communication around this has been really thought out, and it might be something that you've kept in secret for a long time, and even to the point of, it's a secret now and you can't reveal anything to November, and then December it's like, here's the launch, like here it actually is the go button. In November you might be saying, you might actually be doing all this creative, the last final touches, and then it comes to full fruition. Let's get another theme for you. It's going to be quite a chunky reading for you today, so I'm going to get a two more theme. Actually, I might get one more theme. I think 2 themes is enough, but I will be getting lots of advice as well. What's the second most important theme for pile number 1 in 2023? Affection. Yeah, this is that partnership energy again. 12th house, that's about the shadow self, unconscious secrets, fears, dreams, desires. Yeah, the computer says yes. Look at that, and the shadow self, looking in the mirror. Ooh, I feel like this is a lot to do with like your money story. You've also got Taurus energy here. So again, something that's really grounded. This is not you just rushing in. The green sticky tape is also about money. It's about abundance. It's about, good luck, right? It's a particularly like good luck kind of color too, with that kind of Irish green to it. It's the heart chakra. It's something that is close to your heart. What you're creating in 2023, the abundance that you're creating for yourself in 2023 really does come from a good place. And I feel like this is where the affection comes in. And this is Sorel. Is that how you say it? Sorel. a leafy green. So I feel like it's very nourishing for your relationships. It's very nourishing for your self relationship as well. If we take the 12 and break it down numerologically, it's all about communication again. And I was getting that with the Gemini energy. It's communication, it's language, it's technology, it's transportation, it's curiosity, it's perception, it's early education as well. So take that how it resonates, but let's get a bit more information on that. What is this affection in regards to when it comes to career and money? Pile one. Wow. Yeah, definitely like a relationship with someone. Someone's offering you their love. Interesting. Very much a passion. Your passions are coming out to play. And you've known all along, there's the technology element with the High Priestess and her laptop in her hand. You've known all along. But again, this is a secret. This is something that's been kept quite private. And you can see her hat kind of looks like the Taurus symbol as well there. Okay. So this is a deep knowing that this was something. I feel like you've had a deep knowing that this is something I've had to bring out for a long time. 8 of Swords. You might have felt trapped by your previous work or previous money situation, and you're untrapping yourself with this Ace of Wands. This is very much an offer, an opportunity. It's putting out like your passion into the world and striking it. Like it's almost like you using the wand as a match, and there's something very magical about this too. You're bringing yourself unstuck. I mean, it's because it's so close to your heart, it may actually, you may have some fear around letting it out. You may have some fear around communicating it properly. Almost like, because you've kept so much of it secret, and it's very personal. Ace of Cups. Wow. What is going on? Knight of Wands. Queen of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck. I do feel eventually you're going to get it out in the most personal way possible. You're going to communicate this authentically because you realize there's no other way. If you're trying to be someone else, if you're trying to present this like everyone else, I do feel like it won't satisfy you. Not that it won't work, but I feel like it won't satisfy you because the 2 aces, it feels like you created this with the Magician energy. It does really feel like you created this, but it also feels very partnershipy. It feels like a relationship inspires this. I think someone gets to know you if you're not already in a relationship. Someone gets to know you intimately in 2023 and they understand how powerful you are. And, you know, this person might come in and feel like a player at first. They might come in very hot and passionate. And you might be very distracted or only giving so much of yourself, right? You're only giving so much of yourself to this person because you are so focused on career and money in 2023. But this affection softens you. This affection helps you to see yourself in a new light. I feel like this person really has your best interests at heart. And it helps your cup to runneth over with self-love so that you can see your self-worth. You can see how you can make this work, how you can make this project work. This also feels like very, it's almost like no matter, in the lead up to November and December and this project coming out, you're going to enjoy yourself in career and money anyway, because I feel like with this person, you're going to be having so much fun. There's going to be so much love involved. There's going to be so much, the hidden desires are coming to the forefront. And I feel like that build up, it's not a distraction. I feel like it's an inspiration. It's almost like cooking something, like a slow cook on something. So you may not feel 100% like you're on the money, or you're 100, interesting phrase. Okay. You're not going to feel 100% on the money because you're going to be in love. You're going to be in love with life. You're going to be in love with this situation. You're going to be in love with yourself. You're going to be developing so much. And I think that is where the strength comes in. You start to see yourself as the magician. You start to see yourself as someone who is so powerful. I also feel like you're balancing out the fact that you potentially have some imposter syndrome here. these two cards, right? She's got her knee-high black boots on and then a massive coat. And then this one's got a cloak on, but she's almost like in like a negligee or lingerie kind of underneath. And I've never really seen them like that before, but it just gives me the vibe of like you felt like an imposter, like your past, whatever it involves, almost didn't allow you, or in your mind it wouldn't allow you to be this person who gets what you're asking for here, or to create such a thing. Like, who am I to create such a thing? But you actually see it eventually as like your past and your present come together in a way that you can alchemize. There's an alchemy of some, like turning something. Spirit Junkie just came to my mind. So if you've never read that book, it's a book by Gabby Bernstein, and it does talk about her past, right? It does talk about how she was a party girl, but she actually alchemized like the parts of herself and reconciled the parts of herself too, the light and dark. And, you know, in the back here, you've got these pomegranates and it's like it's strung up. So it's almost like you're faking it till you make it. And that's a curtain too. And the curtains were drawn here. It's almost like you're pulling the curtain closed to hide some things that need to, like, that don't need to be part of the situation. And look how like blue and calm and almost grey this pile is compared to this pile is just bursting with colour, right? It's like you're reconciling in your mind and in your heart especially who you are and what you deserve in terms of worth and abundance, and you're hanging up that curtain. And like this behind here, right? You're hanging up a curtain behind you, almost like a backdrop. Here's my backdrop. You don't need my background, you've got my backdrop. And from that backdrop, you can create all these new things. There's this creative, like what I want to put out into the world. It's authentic, but you don't need to dig up every bone in your closet kind of thing. Not that I feel that there's many bones, but I feel like mentally you're just having this imposter syndrome where it just feels like you're not good enough. I'm not worthy. Who am I to say this and do this? And I'm not a nutritionist, or I'm not a skincare person. And I think that's where you collaborate with the right people to get your message across. All right, let's get a few more bits for part one. Career and money. And they're flying all over the place. Oh my gosh, get out. All right, we have caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming. Yeah, I one bite at a time. You know, you're getting to the top of the leaf. You're getting to the big plant of the lemon. This is why you're growing this plant, and it feels like you're a bit of a pest at the moment, or you feel like, who am I? I'm a pest. I'm just an insect. I'm just a grub. Wow, I hate that word. That's a strong word. But I feel like you're munching away at this project all year. And the change is coming. What happens to a caterpillar? They go into that goop state. I can't remember what it's called. And then they become a butterfly. That is exactly what is happening for you. Bowl, plenty of material things. Yeah, there's an abundance of greatness coming. There's a cornucopia of health and nourishment available to you. You're going to get a lot of inspiration from what you eat and how you take care of your physical body, and how this person potentially takes care of you, and how they're worshipping you in a sense. And here is what made me laugh so hard, the 4-leaf clover. And that's what I was getting with this color. 4-leaf clover, great, good fortune. Keep going, pile one. This is worth it. I'm excited for you. An older woman, dealing on relationships with an older woman, right? Someone who's set up, someone who knows their worth, someone who knows your worth, protege kind of energy here. Someone who wants to invest in you. Wisdom. Someone who's possibly been there before. Wishbone, a wish is granted. Wow. Pile one. I am so thrilled for you. This is awesome. Can we get some overall advice, please, from the Motivation Manifesto? If you haven't read Brendan Burchard's book, The Motivation Manifesto, oh my gosh, he has a way with words. It's great. The white space. Okay. I thought that said spage. The white space of a free day seems unfathomable because we have become hypnotized by a false but compelling need to respond to all the needs of others. Ooh. All right. So as you're building up, didn't I say it felt sparse, or it felt, you know, like you're not hitting the money, or just you're not on point for most of the year because you're actually enjoying yourself, you're actually nourishing yourself, you're actually nourishing your self-love and your love and your worth, you're nourishing your worth, and you're nourishing your physical aspects as well. There's something about material things, and I think the physical body has a lot to do with that as you build physical strength. And I feel like you're so used to possibly in the past years grinding and glorifying busy, that when you do have a free day, you actually need that. You realize that you start to need that for inspiration. You need to take holidays to get the inspiration. You need to take that day off. You need to invest in love and being loved and self-love so that you can strike those ideas and juice those lemons. You need time to juice the lemons. What's inside these lemons, what's inside these lessons is actually going to filter into everything, give energy to everything that is money and career and material possessions and wealth and success and ongoing. I feel like this is a plant that's going to last a lifetime. In fact, the older the plant, I feel like the more nourishment and the sweeter the fruit. Do you know what I mean? So you might want to take a little screenshot of that message. Enjoy those free days. And then a law of attraction card, please, from Jerry and Esther Hicks. Law of attraction card for pile number 1. Law of attraction card for pile number 1. Thank you. I am the creator of my own life experience. Look at the growth there. I am the creator of my own life experience. You are taking this lemon, you're planting the seed, you're doing all of this, you're self-made, and don't ever feel like you're not. When this person comes to invest in you, take it as a compliment, a huge compliment. Because this person sees something in you. This is almost like a dream come true that someone would want to give to you, like you wish you could have given to other people, and potentially you're going to pay it forward as well with what you collaborate with what you with what heights you're able to reach with this person. The house was standing out, and it feels like what heights you're able to reach, like from humble beginnings, right? You're self-made here. You are the creator of your own life experience, and as the creator of your experience, it is important to understand that it is not by virtue of your action, not by virtue of your doing, it is not even by virtue of what you are saying that you are creating. You are creating by virtue of the thought that you are offering. You cannot speak or offer action without thought vibration occurring at the same time. However, you are often offering a thought vibration without offering words or action. Children or babies learn to mimic the vibration of the adults who surround them long before they learn to mimic their words. You may be affecting whole generations here of what you are creating, but also the thought vibration that you are putting out has long been in process, I feel. This is why it feels like something that you've dreamt up or dreamt of doing, not particularly with this product or service, but it's just something that you have overall. I've wanted to impact these people. I've wanted to create my own company. I've wanted to have plenty of material things. I've wanted to have good fortune. I've always known I could achieve something like this. This is a wish from childhood, but it is a thought vibration that you have constantly put out into the universe. What you speak about, you bring about. What you think about, you bring about. Speak life over yourself, pile 1. This is an amazing reading. I'm very excited for you. I am going to do, I don't know if I'll do it this month or next month, a breakdown of different career offerings coming to you for each zodiac sign as well. So subscribe and stay tuned for that one. But let me know if this resonated in the comments below, pile 1. And I will see you in my next one. Thank you for being here. Bye. Pile 2, you chose the blue sticky tape. This has to do with, I think of communication, I think of the throat chakra, self-expression here with the blue sticky tape. And I have chosen, this is your career highlight for 2023, and it says Vitality Fig. You've got Taurus energy, 32, a snake, and some leaves. I mean, this is a really yummy kind of exotic kind of fruit. It is definitely some self-expression going on there. 32, if you break that down, it's a 5, and the 5th house talks about self-expression. So there you go. Self-expression, self-expression. The fig, vitality. It's something that you're getting off your chest that does make you feel, oh, that's interesting. I just got, if you are a woman or you deal with women or you identify as a woman, there's just something about the womb space here. There's something about the yoni here. That is just giving me, like, it's actually giving me life. You know what I mean? Like, this could be something to do with gynecology, for example. It could have to do with, like, sacred womb healing. Anything to do with making babies. Some kind of vital healing or vitality healing. Something that, like, rejuvenates women. Ooh, interesting. The Taurus energy in this is also giving me something that you are very, like, it's almost like a luxury. And, like, the fig I said is like a luxury kind of fruit anyway. It's calm. It's loyal. And it's Venus energy, right? Taurus is Venus energy. So, yeah. Something to do with women. And then the key month for career and money in 2023 for you is June. And look at that angel. Interesting. The flowers are also giving me like opening. Just leave that there. Vibes. Let's get some more information on this for you. Your main theme for 2023 when it comes to career and money. Money. Who's into ABBA? Interesting. Is this something to do with self-expression in dance? It's an offset of dance, or it's an offset of performance art. Or it's seen as a performance art. Wow. I mean, the 5th house, we were talking about the 5th house with the 32. It also does have to do with inner children, childhood, passions. Casual sex. Creativity. Fun. It's something you definitely enjoy. What is this about for pile 2? Their career and work and money, something very abundant, life-giving, right? Like I said, it's giving me life, and the sun is life-giving. Interesting. What is this theme for pile number 2? 10 of Wands. Something was a burden for a long time, and this perhaps forced you into this situation. There's a level of fame, there's a level of healing that you've gone through that has pushed your luck into a new direction. I just heard, like, made you see it differently. Made you look. Eight of Cups. You walked away from something that wasn't right. You've walked away from something that was in the dark. Perhaps a dark night of the soul. This has been a journey for you. This has been a long journey for you. Pile number 2. The Sun. The 10 of Wands. What is the 10 of Wands? 7 of Wands. Something you knew wasn't a right fit for you. I mean, you can make an awesome bonfire from all of these, like, conflicts, or all of these, like, these feel like messages as well. Perhaps someone was really, like, throwing daggers at you, in a sense. It feels like online, too, with the Star. You had an experience, and I feel like I'm going to use the T word. It could have been something quite traumatic that you've had to put down and walk away from and heal from. And through this healing, you've had some life-giving, life-affirming experiences. I just heard pleasures as well, okay? Pleasures. But it feels like you had to fight something off, or you had to deal with people that didn't have your best interest in heart here. You got the Knight of Cups there as well. So someone coming forward, potentially... Ooh, Ace of Cups underneath. Potentially with an apology, potentially with a love offer that actually helped to... And it doesn't need to be like love as in romantic love. It could have been a friendship love as well. And it just feels like this person became like a bestie that encouraged you in the right direction. I feel like we need more info on this. But you've got a lot of major arcana there. 3 major arcana cards. Wheel of Fortune, the Star, and the Sun. Something's definitely come full circle for you though. And you've, like, the 10 of Wands and the Wheel is the 10 as well. Something's come full circle. You've had enough cycles of this, and this feminine energy of cycles really does feel important here. Like something to do, you might be creating an app that helps with women's cycles that is very needed in the world. And it's like, almost like you get a lucky break when you can put these, I just heard rumors away. You may have been criticized here for something that, for the way that you've done something that is almost unorthodox, but is a very natural state. That's interesting. Something that was a very natural process or natural creation, a natural birth. I feel this is very specific. 5 of Pentacles. You were definitely left out in the cold for too long, and it's something thawed you out. Someone. 10 of Cups, another 10. Wow. You've had a lot of 2 of Cups. There's the relationship, right? There's the partnership with someone. There's the equal give and take with someone. And through that, this might be a same-sex situation. And that's what might have given you the I just heard evil eye. Whoa. I'm so sorry, pile 2. No one deserves that. But I do feel like you were ostracized in some way. And you had a lot of sneaky people around you trying to take advantage of you while you were down. You know, like, it's almost like you had this win. You had this success. And here you are cheering on your horse, on your white horse, doing no wrong, doing no harm, you know, just enjoying your moment. And I do feel, this is what's actually going to take place if it hasn't already, obviously, because this is the main theme. And we're looking at this main theme taking shape in June. But I do feel like if you haven't already gone through it, just beware of people who want to try and like add more pressure to you that is unnecessary. Someone that doesn't have your best interest at heart, someone with a sneaky kind of taking your ideas kind of energy, and you almost don't notice because you're overburdened with I'm hearing communication. You're overburdened with your inbox or something like that. You've got to stay alert to the people that just want to bring you back down to their level, right? The people just... But I also feel whatever you're creating is going to help the people get out of the cold, help the people. Whoever your target audience is going to help these people to feel seen, heard, warm, right? There's a definite, like, this is the cold card, this is the warm card. There's definitely a vibe about whatever you're working on or creating or the job that you're in that brings people out from the cold and into the warmth. This could be like a women's refuge or something like that, or a program that helps people who are underprivileged. And even in that, you wouldn't think, right? You wouldn't think, but even in that community, even in that industry, there's going to be some people that want to take advantage. And it's like, seriously, there's so much better things to do with your time. But I feel like you're going to overcome that because of your... I just heard like what you put out there actually, whether it's you're putting your story out there or you're highlighting the negatives of this industry, it actually helps you to garner some level of fame, or it helps you garner some level of support that is very, very healing for the industry or for this business or for yourself. Aquarius energy there. Leo with the sun. You've got Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius energy on the wheel. Gemini energy with the 2. And this 10 of Cups. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Just very happy times that come from this. I feel like you're providing support potentially if you don't represent, or if you don't relate to same-sex situations or LGBTQI plus A plus. I do feel like there's a level of giving support and healing to that community through the work that you're doing as well. That rainbow just stands out to me there. And there's very much this blue color throughout this whole spread here. It's definitely something that is communicated, and Aquarius does rule communication and intellectual thinking. But I feel like it's almost like you've given permission for other people to shine. You're such a star. Your shine is shining so bright. Your star is shining so bright that you've inspired other people to heal and come along on this healing process with you. And there's enough for everyone. This pouring into one and into another. There's something that is retreat-like about both of these cards here too. Something that is like taking people out of their workplace or their usual like burdens, right? Their usual burdens of routine and everything, and actually taking them on retreats. And there they experience a lot of healing. There their cup filleth up and runneth over, and there they can feel very free to be authentically themselves and to realize that they are worth everything that they're asking for. This tealy color is very healing. I feel like they're seen and heard, right? There's something, you might even be recording other people's stories here. The Wheel of Fortune, and look, the Lighthouse stands out to me in this card ever since like a couple of readings ago, and that message keeps resonating for this month at least with everyone that gets this card. There's something very divine about this meeting of souls here, the person that you potentially are going to work with, or the person that inspires you to create whatever this is. But I do feel like it's a reciprocated emotional offer that you have with someone that inspires this situation, or that comes out of this situation, right? If we look at this as an outcome, it's like something is finally being set right, something is coming to full completion, and something, because of the healing, it brings in more luck and more prosperity for your relationships as well. And that can be friendships, but it also can be dealing with relationships in general, like for other people, like relationship therapy, relationship healing, especially when it comes to something about fertility, okay? But this Lighthouse, I feel, is you. This is the person that's no longer running all over the island feeling burdened and bogged down by the minuate, like the details of things. I don't know why I just said it like that. But instead, you're inspiring others to come together in a peaceful resolution. Interesting. Let's get your next theme. I hope that resonates. Yeah, the computer says it does. Ding, ding. It feels like this, just that ding then just felt very calm, and it almost felt like you've been waiting for your order to come through. And no, it felt like a stop in a station. Ding, ding, you've arrived, right? There's something very much about like you've arrived. There's something very divine about this. The angel with the flowers all blooming here, and the angel of strength here. Something is very much healing here with this like health and wellness kind of symbol. I don't know what that symbol's actually called, but it's in the healing industry, or it is very healing to you as a result of whatever that is. Congratulations, and thank you for your efforts. Thank you for your efforts. Something's definitely transforming. Shedding your skin and showing who you really are. A fig looks very unassuming. You cut it open and it's just like this glorious fruit inside. Can we get the next main theme in 2023 for career, work, and money for pile 2, please? The next main theme. The next main theme. The next main theme. The guidebook has all these quotes for this deck, and I've written them all on the back. Refinement. Don't know why I felt called to look at the bottom there, but it does feel like you're having a glow up as a result of the career, money, and effort that you're putting in. Hope, daffodil, card number 38, Taurus energy again. And then you've got this tree, this branch with crystals hanging off it. What is that? I just heard chimes. Daffodil, hope. Chimes. Are you chiming in to give hope to other people? Card number 38. Garden as though you will live forever. There's a legacy there. There's a sense of like leaving behind something worthwhile. On the back of this one, it says, plants give us oxygen for the lungs and for the soul. Yeah. I just heard the fruits of your labor, but I also heard, and I'm not entirely religious, I think it's a Catholic thing, the fruits of thy womb. Right? The fruits of thy womb, Jesus, I think is the phrase. But the fruits of thy womb, I just heard with that. So again, that message. But I just feel like this is something that you're willing to work at. That feels like there's a richness. Every time I'm looking at this Taurus energy, it feels like a richness. It feels like a luxury. It feels like something very loyal and true, right? The bull energy there, but these little charms on this card, on the branch there, it feels like you're chiming into something, but you're giving hope to a whole audience. Very much tied to this is your second theme for the year when it comes to work. I mean, you are going to work hard at this. The Taurus really like works hard at things that they want, and they feel quite stable when they have like a good steady job and a good steady income. Like they feel quite satisfied with that. They're a fixed sign, of course. But this does feel, and because it's earth energy, it does feel like something that is going to like pay off. How did that want to come out? I'm going to take them all upright. You've got the Hierophant, the Queen of Wands, the World, and the Eight of Pentacles. There's the work and effort that's coming into it, okay? And this might set you on a path to travel. This might be something that has been inspired by travel. Did I say that before? I feel like I did. The Hierophant is higher level of commitment, higher learning. You might learn something that sets your passions alight, takes you on a bit of a journey. And I just heard journey of self. And through that, you're gaining inspiration to work really hard at something. And the payoff is due. The payoff is coming. The payoff is here. What is this Queen of Wands? Knight of Wands. I feel like you may be collaborating with other people. It feels like a new job as well. Something, a job that really like puts you in a higher position. And you might actually move from a knight to a queen in this job, in this role, when you gain this higher learning, because you've got people kind of like at the Hierophant's feet here, like listening. This is a teacher energy. If you've done this higher learning, I feel like you then become the teacher. You then become, like you were the student and you become the teacher. You have a lot to say. There's so much blue and green energy here. And then you're starting to bring this yellow energy in with the hope. Yellow is very much a hopeful color, and it's the color of the solar plexus is personal power, and it's the ability to channel well. I do think you're getting almost like downloads as well. You're getting downloads about this, and the Queen of Wands has got like a yellow skirt on. She's holding a sunflower. Her throne is orange. Like there's definitely something about like being connected through the solar plexus. You know, this place of creation. and this place of like instinct, gut knowing, and it just feels like through your instinct you're able to focus really hard on something. Burning the midnight oil and just you feel really in your element though, like it feels natural to you. This person isn't like dressed and suited up. It feels creative. It feels cathartic for you. Okay, it feels healing for you. And the world also has the infinity symbol. It just feels like you've got limitless potential. And she's got 2 wands in her hands here. Like there's 2 wishes coming true. There's 2 big, strong projects or big, strong messages or big, strong opportunities that come from this. Or 2 passions combined, right? And this might be where the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands combine. Eight of Cups. Did we not say you walked away from something over here? And this is in reverse now. Because you walked away, I feel like once this happens in June, this comes after. Because you walked away. These opportunities. And there's more opportunities that come from the work that you're doing. There's opportunities for you to then have a higher level experience and higher level learning, to engage in higher level learning. And then for you to teach something else. So you start this project or you start this job and you have a great level of healing yourself and you're able to heal others, but then you come in and you learn even more. And it just opens up the whole world for you. This really is a stroke of luck that opens up so much opportunity. And you're willing to, that's what helps you to keep working on this. This is what helps you to, you've really set something right here for other people. You've really set something right. And because of that, you're driven, because of the justice that you know that this brings to people, you're driven to do more. You're driven to keep learning. You're driven to, it feels like work that becomes play for you. It feels like work that becomes natural to you. It feels like you're really living in your passions. You're getting everything you want because you're getting to feed the masses, I just heard. You're a hope dealer in this situation. You're a hope dealer. You know, sunflowers face the sun. They'll turn away from the darkness and face the sun. And daffodils have that sunny, beautiful effect as well. And what's the holiday? There's a celebration of, I can't remember if it has to do with a disease, and like raising money for a disease or raising money for like a conflict that was resolved in some way. This daffodil has other meaning. I'm going to actually get the guidebook out. I feel like that's important. Card 38. Bear with me. Yeah. Daffodils indicate a reprieve for those who need it and a time to renew faith, not only in life but in those around you. Daffodils will lift optimism and help boost endurance while encouraging you to keep going. This is also a period of personal growth and spiritual awakenings. Yes, and answers can be found within aspects of these. Listen to your inner voice, but do not become overwhelmed with negative self-talk. New beginnings, self-esteem, luck, fertility, friendships. Get out! The deities are Persephone, Hades, and the Fates. Pluto and Taurus. Taurus is everywhere, all over this. And there's a hope spell. Arrange 7 daffodils in a yellow or orange vase and place in your bathroom. Each time you shower or bathe, fill the cup of 1 flower and pour it over your head. Oh my goodness, you know how the daffodils have that little cup inside them? Oh, this is beautiful. You are being filled up from the inside out. And pour it over your head. Take the flower and lay it in the garden in the sunshine. Repeat for 7 days. My heart is beating so fast for you. This is incredible. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And so is everyone else. Let me just say that. So is everyone else. Okay, let's get some more info for you. Pile 2, please. Wow. Okay, you have Cat, a two-faced friend, right? This is rumor mill. This is someone who did you wrong that you want to walk away from. Dog, far away. A distant friend is thinking of you. people see the truth, and you have loyal fans, you have loyal friends. Flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards. Absolutely. Don't let these naysayers bring you down. Dog barking, advice from a friend. Yeah, let your friends help you. I feel like that card would come out. Cracked cup, dissatisfaction with life. Yeah, you haven't been feeling full in your own hope, and potentially with an issue that you're dealing with, and that inspires you to thread this cup back together with gold and create something really beautiful from here. And skull, hidden secrets can harm you. I think this is just calling for you to be really realistic about this. But again, I think you will be with this like intellectual kind of feeling, this very Aquarius kind of feeling, or very Gemini kind of feeling, where you need to process things intellectually and then verbalize them, okay? This could also have to do with talk therapy, either you getting that to be able to create this, or as a result of the rewards that you get. There's the like other side where some of this might actually trigger you, the work that you do, and so you need a therapist to stay on a level keel so that you can keep doing this work. That's what I feel this is, okay? So make sure you're getting everything off your chest. Beautiful. Okay, can we get a motivation manifesto card for pile 2 for 2023 when it comes to work and career? This is just deep stuff. Oh my goodness, pile 1 got this exact card. The white space of a free day seems unfathomable because we become hypnotized by a false but compelling need to respond to all the needs of others. Do not forget to fill your own cup again. Do not forget to take a free day so that you can be inspired. Don't let these burdens get on top of you so much that you forget the healing work that you need to do on yourself so that you can give to others. It's like putting the mask on yourself first and having that free blank space. So that I can write your name, right? Take that how it resonates, but just so you can have that space where you're not responding to the needs of others, but responding to your own needs and letting whatever needs to come through. And I think that's something that you will be able to teach to others as well. Can we please get a Jerry and Esther Hicks Law of Attraction card for pile 2 to close out this reading, please, Spirit? A Law of Attraction card. And these Law of Attraction cards are around money. It is not my role to make others happy. The light and dark of this card, right? It is not your role to make others happy. It is your role to keep yourself in balance. When you pay attention to how you feel and practice self-empowering thoughts that align with who you really are, you will offer an example of thriving that will be of tremendous value to those who have the benefit of observing you. Wow. You cannot get poor enough to help poor people, thrive, or get sick enough to help sick people get well. You cannot get poor enough to help poor people thrive, or get sick enough to help sick people get well. You can only uplift from your position of strength and clarity and alignment. Yes, this is so important. We can have role models and icons. It doesn't mean we need to live their tragedy or trauma to get to the position that they are in, okay? And so that's a very important part for you to play, whereas you don't need to have suffered exactly what this person is suffering to understand and relate. You don't need to keep reliving your own sufferings to relate consistently to the people that you may be working with in this situation. You can only uplift from your position of strength and clarity and alignment, okay? The Sun, Leo energy, strength energy, okay? Beautiful. If this will focus, you might want to take a screenshot of that message because I feel like that's so important for you. Pile 2, wow, beautiful. I hope this resonates. I'm excited for whatever you're creating because it feels like the world needs what you've got. Beautiful, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for being here. And please subscribe because I do have more career zodiac messages coming soon for Sun, Moon, and Rising. I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye. Pile number 3, you chose the pink sticky tape. This feels like the heart chakra to me. This feels also like the root chakra because you could see it as red. but there's something sweet about it, you know? Even though the heart chakra is green, I feel like there's this sweetness that makes me think of something to do with love with this one. The root chakra is to do with career and money and mindset and grounding and a sense of belonging and like rooting yourself to create something. I have already pulled your main theme for career and money and work for 2023, and you got the duality card, banana 27. Something's ripe for the picking. I just heard ripe for the picking. If we break down the 27 to 9, the 9th house does talk about spirituality, philosophy, religion, travel, legal matters, right? I feel like you could break away. You've created something with a group of people, but you could break away. Like you're all individual like success stories, and this could be like a job, but actually if you pulled one away, it's still tasty, it's still whole in its own, it's still a banana. Just because you're not a bunch of bananas doesn't mean you're not a banana. I think the duality really does speak to that you're potentially like this and that are true, as above so below. And it could have something to do with the medical field, or health and wellness has come up for pretty much every single pile. But you've got this, I don't know what that is actually called. I need to look it up. Gardening is civil and social, but it wants the vigor and freedom of the forest and the outlaw. Huh. Did I not say breaking away? It is civil and social to work with other people, but I feel like you want the vigor and freedom of being an outlaw, of seeing what else is out there, right? The forest, seeing what else is out there. So this is your main theme for the year when it comes to 2023 in money and career and job. This is the main month, November. That's roots. Look at the roots here, right? We're talking about the root chakra and something taking root. And I think you're also understanding the duality of what it means to have roots and what it means to set yourself free. And wanting both in career and wanting a career that allows you to do both. It's almost giving me the vibe of I want a job that I can do anywhere, but so that I can travel for most of the year. This feels like a sunny energy, so it feels like chasing the sun around the world, or, you know, traveling, pulling away from the group and doing my own thing, but then having like a stable home to come home to, or having a stable job to come home to. There's something about that. So it may be a job that you get to travel with, or it may be that you break away from the traditional job sense and actually create a career that you can work from anywhere, you know, like beach money. Work from anywhere. But November is the key month of career and work. It feels like that's when things are going to start to, like the sun is coming out from behind this big tree. So it feels like the whole year you're really like stabilizing this. You're really grounding this idea, and then the sun starts to come out at the end of the year and you're like, here it is. Here's my chance to, I just heard escape. Because once you peel a banana, like they can feel like slippery little suckers, and all the all the, what's the word? All the jokes about like slipping on a banana skin, like on a banana peel. There's so much you can do with the banana. You can make a sundae, you can make a smoothie. Like there's something very much like with the work you've been doing, there's so many other like offshoots, right? There's so many things you can pull apart from it and actually create something healthy and nutritious and something that is whole all of its own. And it can seem like a risk, right? The slip on a banana skin just gives me like this risk factor associated with that. And ninth house does talk about expansion, so it does give me travel vibes as well. But we did say travel and higher education too, so, you know, taking things to another level. And this feels like thawing out too. Like ignore what hemisphere you're actually in. This card actually looks like thawing out after a snowfall, right? So I do feel like whatever this is gives you sunshine, gives you vitality, gives you potassium. I'm going to read from the guidebook on that, actually. 27. Right there. Look at that. It is time to look at the shadow and the light in conjunction with each other. Each is as strong as the other, and both have positive qualities and learning points for you. The answer to any question is maybe, and perhaps moving away a little will allow a better view, as Bananas asks that you stand back and look at the horizon. Do not give in to any situation that doesn't align with you at present. This is potency, prosperity, fertility, marriage, ambition. There's a lot of ambition there for sure. Wow. Very exciting. Let's get some tarot on this. What is this banana about? What is this duality about? For pile 3, please, Spirit. They are open to your messages. I just saw so much yellow just then when I was shuffling those. So much yellow. It's a happy color. It's a sunny color. What is this about? What is this banana about when it comes to work, career, money? Money, money, money. Queen of Pentacles. It has to do with something that's going to set you down with roots and have you feeling quite stable. Going to have you moving away from heartbreak. Potentially might originally gain a lot of criticism about this. Actually, I feel like you might be like, this could potentially hold you back if you allow it. The heartbreak could hold you back if you allow it. 6 of Pentacles. You've been giving too much to others and it's time to give to yourself. I'm not going to take those, but I will take this. 6 of Pentacles. Something that keeps you up at night thinking, but if you collaborate with someone, you can move away from anyone that means you harm, anyone that has sneaky energy, and sit on your throne. Look at all these queens. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Passion for what you do. Passion for the work that you're creating. Passion for material things, right? You've actually like, it's okay to want more. It's okay. I feel like this is that very strong message of this is that. It's okay to want more and not feel bad about it. There's small town energy here, and I don't mean to like shade small towns because I come from one, but there's something where people want you to continually give to them and adhere to their rules, and I do feel like you're saying no more of that. I actually want better for myself. I want a higher love. I want to work with people who are more interesting, I just heard. And I want more for myself, and I know I can have it. And the Queen of Pentacles has a white rabbit, and the Queen of Wands has a black rabbit. It's balancing those two things, the duality of yourself, of your generosity. Your generosity and the desire for generosity to self. The desire for things for your own joy, happiness, pleasure to actually come through. I heard, like, come through. Like, get it. You, honestly, do not let anyone, and didn't that book say do not let anyone hold you back? I need to read that again. The 27. Do not give in to any situation that doesn't align with you at present. Yeah. Perhaps moving away a little will allow a better view. You need to get a new perspective of what's going on here. I feel like you're up at night thinking about things from the past that you don't need to. They're keeping you entrapped. These thoughts of the past from the past are keeping you entrapped. But I also feel like you're almost preempting the future to stay the same. You're almost thinking that the same is bound to happen, and bound is very much a word that I would associate here. You've got the blindfold on, you've got it's almost like good girl, and take this as energy, not as gender, but it's like good girl energy. Like you've just been bound to a certain like contract or agreement or like stereotype, but a heartbreak has really like rocked you. It's kept you up at night. It's kept you potentially from fulfilling this dream in the past, and now you can either sit and wallow in this mental prison of yours, or you can start to sleep better because you've made a decision. There's a choice here as well. I mean, after the Three of Swords would come the Four of Swords. There's a lot of sword energy here. You've also got the 7 as well. You've got the 3, the 8, the 9, and the 7 of Swords. The Four of Swords would be talking about rest and rejuvenation, and I feel like you've skipped that step and gone straight to, well, that's what it is. That's how it's going to be. This is where I'm bound to stay. Like, I'm bound to be heartbroken. I'm bound to live in this town and face this person in the supermarket, and I'm bound to not have my fantasies fulfilled, not have my dream life. But also, and this is the back and forth duality of this banana skin, is it because look at her bedspread. It's actually like really yellow and vibrant and happy and flourishing, but she's just not seeing it because she's crying herself to sleep every night. I feel like you need to just get a good night's sleep, have that rest and rejuvenation that you've skipped, so that you can have dreams again, so that you can literally dream your new life into existence again. And I think what you will, or I know what you will come to realize, is that you've always wanted something more. Like, I feel like you've overgiven, and this is a time for you to be selfish. If you turn this around, this is someone who's gregarious and very generous, and you may have people giving you gifts, or you may have been the person giving gifts, but I feel like you're stepping away from, potentially you're stepping away from a mother figure as well, that kind of like kept you small, but like provided for you very well. That's a very specific message, so don't let that take from you if it doesn't resonate. But potentially you're moving away from a family, or a family situation, or a boss, right, that potentially gave you plenty of raises and bonuses and stuff like that, but they belittled you, and they kept you thinking small, and they got into your head and really made you believe that you weren't, like, that they were doing you a favor and that you would be nothing without them, and that in order for you to move on, you're going to miss out on all these benefits. You're going to miss out on all these pros. But really, you want to collaborate with someone else. You want to collaborate more creatively with someone, free-thinking people too, and someone who is a bit more expressive, right? This pink is very expressive. It feels like a more loving, nurturing, sweet, right? That sweetness, a sweeter workplace. You want to work in a group setting, or have growth. You don't want to be just ruled by this almost selfish woman. But I feel this woman is threatened by you because she knows, or this workplace is threatened by you because she knows that you are this person too. She sees herself in you and wishes she could be the nurturer, wishes she could be generous because she wants to be, rather than she's trying to, it's almost like a facade. She's trying to win you over and keep you locked up, you know? She sees you as someone who is naturally gregarious, as naturally giving and unique and special and grounded and intelligent, and someone with a lot of potential. And you're starting to realize that you could very well stay there and stay in this job, or you could move away from this person that doesn't have your best interests at heart. And I do feel like you're taking these 5 of Swords, you're taking the conflict and like, that can go. Like, if I move away over here a little bit, like this message said, if I just take a different look, a different perspective, and look at the horizon, then I'm left with 2 swords, and that's about making a decision. That's about taking the blindfold off yourself, right? This is about making an intellectual decision rather than an emotional one, but I do feel like it is emotional for you. Just because there's swords energy doesn't mean it's all about your mind. This does have to do with like your heart space, and there's the pink. You have a big, beautiful heart. And this black energy, this it's almost like tar dripping out of this 3 of Swords. Like, this person is toxic. This woman is toxic. But what happens after a rainy day is the sun comes out. What happens after rest and rejuvenation is that things start to grow, and they can grow really abundantly, right? You don't just get one banana, you get a whole bunch of bananas. This is exponential growth. This is exponential snowballing effect of productivity, of like abundance, of wealth, of luck, of and there is a lucky element to bananas. And also, at one point, bananas were extremely expensive. This does feel like something that like you're worth it. And I also feel for your health. For your health, you are worth it. And for your mental health especially. I mean, I'm not au fait with what potassium really does, but I know it's good for you. But I also know that bananas can make people feel sick on an empty stomach. You know, for some people, it just doesn't work for them. And I feel like this person may have been like shoving these her ideas or her ideals down your throat. And you just got sick of the bananas and you're slipping on the skins and you're just like, I'm over this situation. I'm taking things into my own hands, and that is where you'll be able to thrive. That is where you'll be able to sit in your power, actually look at your passions and go, okay, what is it that I want to do? What are these passions? What is this Queen of Wands? What is the Three of Pentacles? King of Swords. Potentially working with a male, and I'm just saying that because of the king, but this person on the card is a woman, so just take energy. Potentially partnering with someone who gets you on an intellectual level. And this, okay, I'm also hearing that this could be go and get some therapy. Go and talk about this situation with other people. And through the collaboration of talking about this with other people, you might actually set yourself free, right? The butterflies have had a transformation. There's a forest out here, and right, the bananas that rebel, they want to see the forest, they want to see the rest of the world, they want to have this, what was the word? Rebellious nature, outlaw, right? Like there's something about like setting out on a new adventure, and this clarity of purpose, this clarity of mind. I feel like you really need to take a holiday. You need to take a trip before you really start anything, or you're going to document your trip in a creative way. There's something about like being creative and collaborating with someone else. Maybe you take a trip with someone else who is an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. You're definitely a hard worker. You're a Queen of Pentacles. You're a Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. You're willing to collaborate with people. Leo at Aries, Sagittarius, and that Sagittarius is the expansion energy of November, end of the bananas, right? End of the 9th house. It is that expansion. You're wanting to expand, and you look at you like people might think you're moving out on your own. You're moving away from this, and there may be gossip about this. Yeah, people that don't wish you well, but like a sword in the ground, it just gives me like this mental strength to make this decision for your best interests is really like transformative for you. Transformative for you. Yeah, you're setting yourself new boundaries so that you look at that, 2 9s, right? You're setting yourself new boundaries so that you can set yourself up, so that you can look back at all your hard work and actually call it your own. And whether that is in a new job, or whether that is something by yourself, but it does feel like you're potentially working with a group or collaborating with some other people to get the ball rolling. But you've got a lot of like hierarchy here, right? I feel like you are a high level professional person in some sense. Like you have a high level of skill. You've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the King of Swords, and then you've got 2 9s here. It's like you might take a pay cut to walk away from whatever this is and create something for yourself, but I feel like it's going to actually make you feel very protected and make you feel very independent and actually make you feel very strong and safe and like you are capable of achieving your dreams. Your dreams are so close. I would say in 2024, your dreams turn into tens, right? In the best possible way. The 10 of Pentacles, you start to create legacy. You start to create real roots of long-lasting wealth and prosperity for yourself and for your family. Okay, let's get another theme for you. In pile 2, the second theme actually related a lot to the first one, or like happened as a result of. So let's see, what is your second theme for career, love, and work for the year 2023, pile 3? The second theme for career for pile 3. Thank you. Victory. Card number 44. The 4 is all about manifestations, foundations, and stability. Okay. You've manifested this. You might be seeing 44 angel number a lot over the next year. And this is also Aries energy. So something very entrepreneurial, something very like grounded still, with the earth energy here. But this is victory and then nasturtium. Am I saying that right? Nasturtium. I think that's how my grandma used to say it anyway. Nasturtium. Nasturtium. Anyway, look at the victory of this card. This is 6 of Wands energy. This is like success. This is hallelujah. Yeah, I do feel like this is the similar situation where once you sort this out, this is your birthright. I just heard this is your birthright. The message on the back: a garden is always a series of losses set against a few triumphs, like life itself. I feel like you're turning whatever didn't work, the slippery banana skin, the slippery person, you're turning that into something beautiful. And you're well aware that it might not be perfect, right? This is what this card is also saying. It might not be perfect, but you're deciding to boss up your attitude. I just heard, you know, Aries is fire sign energy, and you've got the red nasturtium here, and it looks like it's quite a fragile flower. You know, you could almost feel it like crumbling beneath your fingers if you were to touch it. So you understand that this does take ambition, it does take passion, it does take this go-getter, moving forward, ram energy of the Aries sign. This is a cardinal sign. You understand that this is something you have to be quite flexible on, that you're willing to take the highs with the lows, but you're also changing your attitude about victory. Instead of it being perfectionism with the Virgo energy, what you're really understanding is, wow, I have so much to be grateful for because I don't live in that space anymore. I don't work in this space anymore. You know, I can now function at a higher level, and I have higher level problems that comes with that victory, but it feels so much more aligned. Okay, there's something really aligned with this. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so I do feel like this is like like turning a new page, turning a new leaf. This is a new chapter in your book of career, money, wealth, prosperity, and happiness too. Okay, that's really cool. Let's get some tarot out on this message. And Mars is a go-getter energy. It's always talking about like action. There is some aggression and assertion that comes with that, but I feel like you were hinting at this with the King of Swords energy, okay? You were already hinting at that assertiveness anyway. And now you're just like, no, this is who I am. This is who I am. God damn it. Yeah, that's the duality right there, the High Priestess. That knowing, inner knowing, and also keeping some things to yourself as well. There's something a little bit secret about her. She's building up to this. She's building up to this online. She's working away at this on her laptop. There's abundance in the background of what you're creating this year. There's abundance in the background, and it just takes this one change and facing the fears and facing the you don't even have to face the criticism. You're literally walking away from the conflict and the belittling and the petty arguments, and you're like, whatever. you know, whatever. Like, don't keep me up at night anymore. Like, I need my beauty sleep, and I need my sleep so that I can win at life. I am winning. I just heard 10x. Like, if you listen to Grant Cardone, there's just something like 10xing about this. Once you make this decision, this bish over here, B-I-S-H, you'll be able to turn this Six of Pentacles around for yourself. This is like a self-fulfilling prophecy I'm hearing. And the High Priestess is number 2. This is value. I value myself. I value my material possessions, my physical body, my earnings. You know, if I have to lend money or loan money to get into this situation, I'm okay with that because I'm bloody worth it. Okay? And 2 is duality. This is duality. It's balance. Okay? And also partnership, but I think it's like partnering with, like, reconciling the two sides of yourself. That's like, I want to stay a people pleaser with this Virgo energy, but then I want to actually, like, I want to please myself, you know? I want to take all these swords out of my back. This is the higher level problems that I think you're having, right? So over here you were in stress mode because someone else and their opinions were keeping you small, and you knew it and you weren't acting on it. The minute you realize your worth and your value and you step out and you create something for yourself, yes, you have higher level problems, but look at how much happier she is. She's chill, you know? She's not like bawling her eyes out. She's actually chill with these problems. It's like, I'm almost willing to stay up at night and work on my phone and answer these messages and respond to this situation. I'm happy to kind of be a bit of a night owl to begin with, if it means that I'm away from this energy. Okay? 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. What else have we got going on here? 8 of Wands. Ace of Swords and 2 of Swords. The decision has been made. You have different decisions to make now. This isn't so much... See, we talked about the 2 of Swords here and the 7 of Swords. You've got these 2 swords left, and this is the card I was referring to about taking the blindfold off and making the decision to move away from the petty arguments and conflict and BS. Now, you're in a position where the decisions that you make are your own. The decisions that you make are... you don't have to answer to anyone else now. The decisions you make are like higher level decisions. And in fact, you're going to really focus. And I feel like by 10xing, right, that message about 10x, there's something about like almost delegating a lot of decision making or making decisions easier. So it might mean that you have a certain uniform that you wear every day, so you don't have to decide what clothes to wear. You might actually just you pick the first thing on the coffee list because you don't want to waste your decision making energy on petty things. Now you're delegating decisions, or you're making decisions a lot easier, and they're actually your own. Okay, this 9 of Cups is independent. This 9 of Cups is more emotionally fulfilled doing the work that she's doing. She's also a little bit protective of her emotions, also a little bit protective of what she tells other people about what she's doing. And I'm saying she a lot just because of the card, but take it as energy, okay? The 8 of Wands is talking about messages coming in fast, and I think there's a message of truth coming through. And I think you already know this, but it could be a message coming from someone else about this person that you've like left in the dust. Because this does feel like you eat my dust kind of situation with the motorbike like shooting off there. It's like, see ya! And then all these messages come through of like, congratulations, oh my God, I'm so glad you left that situation. You're worth so much more than that. But I also feel like you're busy. You're busy sending messages to people about this new project, about this new job, like what I have to offer now. And there's clarity and truth coming through, and potentially ding ding, right? Computer's saying abso-freaking-lutely. And this clarity that's coming in, I also feel like this can be an opportunity. A new message coming through or a secret that's been revealed ends up being an opportunity for you to grow even more. Not all truths or secrets being revealed, not all secrets being revealed are bad. And I feel like what you're doing is really stepping into your power, putting your crown on, and you're almost like, well, how would the queen deal with this? How would the king deal with this? How would my higher self deal with this? Now that I am this boss energy. Now that I am this entrepreneur, you know, if we go 4 and 4, it's the 8th house. This is about transformation and magic and taboos. It's also could talk about other people's money. So you could be like I said, lending. That word did come up before when I was talking about the High Priestess here. It could talk about lending. And so there's a greater level of responsibility here, but I also feel like this is the death of old you and the transformation of new you. And if that means that you're using like manifestation more, or law of attraction more, or doing like things that are a bit taboo because they're new, or they're not how this person did things or this job did things, I do think it's giving you opportunity that reveals itself quite quickly. You're going to be busy. I definitely feel that. I feel like things are going to be keeping you up at night in terms of communication. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. All right, let's get some more info on pile 3's situation. Actually, I'm going to take those and take that one more, that one. All right, we have star, guaranteed success. Yeah, whoever you've been working with, whatever situation you've been dealing with, someone sees that you have star quality. They know that you could easily replicate yourself, like in terms of that you could easily replicate your success. Not that you are easily replaceable, but you are the type of person that could have that success over and over and over again. With that bunch of bananas, it just feels like they see you as very, very abundant. And whatever you decide to do to step out of something, it's guaranteed success. This feels like you're also facing your North Star, like you're really looking at, well, what am I called to do? And you're going for it. You're taking that step in that direction. You're letting that North Star guide you, okay? Spear, heartache over what you no longer have. 3 of Swords, heartache over what you no longer have. There's a little bit of like bittersweetness that comes with this. You might like lose the company car or something. And you might, like I said, take a paycheck. But I do feel like it's relationship related as well. There's just this like transition phase where it's like mourning what was. And this was a great opportunity. It's just you knew that there was more. And you knew that you had to step away from this situation. You could even have been let go in a very harsh way because someone was jealous of you. But you know that you were being kept almost caged in that situation. Success, look at that. Star, success. It doesn't even need a message. Success, victory. Wow. Don't wait till November to start putting wheels in motion, of course, guys. Like, this is something that's happening all throughout this year. And I want you to really use this as, like, momentum and permission almost. Like, you don't need permission from me, but, like, the universe, your higher self is saying you have permission. Like, this is how it could go for you if you really wanted to take option B, you know. Broken ring. Parting of the ways in either romance or business. Get out. And staff, which is basically a wand. You'll be taken care of in difficult times. Yeah, it's like a walking stick. You know, you're not going to be completely disabled by this change. You're actually going to like learn how to walk again. You're going to learn how to walk on your own. You're going to learn how to walk in this regal energy, in this entrepreneurial energy, in this just like something so powerful about you. And this staff is like, it's got a vine wrapped around it. And it just feels like something that grows and grows over time. That this staff becomes quite like almost like it's instead of it being a crutch, it becomes something that gives you wisdom, right? There's something very like giving you wisdom about it. And it's very regal, like you almost sit there on your throne with your staff then. Can we get a motivation manifesto message for 2023 overall for pile 3, please? A motivation manifesto message. If you haven't read the Motivation Manifesto by Brendan Burchard, I highly recommend that you do, or listen to it, an audiobook. if you're someone who wants to be entrepreneurial, but it is just like poetry in motion. Life can lose its vibrant aura and charm if we do not bend the energy of our minds towards positive engagement and appreciation. Your mind has been trapped. I'll just hold that there. So if you need a screenshot that, a message for you for 2023 to follow through. Life can lose its vibrant aura and charm. Absolutely. And you might feel like you've lost a bit of that vibrant aura and charm when you undertake this shift. But I do feel like you're actually moving in a more positive direction now. And the things that you would have found, like staying up at night, right, for example, being on your phone constantly is better than being crying over how you've been treated or mistreated. Can we get a Law of Attraction card? These are the Jerry and Esther Hicks Money Law of Attraction cards. I can earn money by doing what I love to do. Look at that. It's that gut instinct here. It's the solar plexus, the personal power and the ability to channel, and the color around it is very solar plexus, but this person is really holding their gut and making a decision from their gut. I can earn money by doing what I love to do. As you practice your more positive, better feeling story, in time, your pleasure will become the dominant vibration within you. And then as you couple your pleasure with your means of earning, the two will blend perfectly and enhance each other. There is no better way to earn money than to do the things you love to do. Money can flow into your experience through endless avenues. It is not the choice of the craft that limits the money that flows, but only your attitude towards money. It's a bit bright, but I'll just hold that there as well. Your attitude is definitely changing, and that is a big reason. Your mindset is a big reason why you're making this change, and you are doing something that fulfills you a lot more. With this 9 of Cups over here, it's much more fulfilling, and you're having a perfect blend of pleasure and means of earning. Yes, it may take some time, but I do feel like very quickly you're going to be busy, and very quickly there's star power, there's success, there's overcoming things. Like something had to be gone so that something could come together. Something had to reform. Okay, so pile 3, I'm very excited for this. Please let me know how this resonates below. Do subscribe, because I do have Zodiac, Sun, Moon, Rising, career messages coming as well. But congratulations, good luck, have fun, enjoy this process. I'm really, really proud of you. Thank you for being here, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.